Well, I'm going to go ahead and get started and just go through the rigmarole here of the administrational items and so forth. And then we'll get into any questions you guys have. And then hopefully Al will show up.
And
And who
Cliff.
was the other one, Gene? Cliff had a
Clifton.
question? Okay,
Yeah.
hopefully they'll show up.
Yeah.
All
Oh,
right.
I'm sure.
Well, I guess before I get going, Gene, is there anything you want to say?
Well, are we? I guess we're recording.
Yep.
So, what I do want to say is, as always, we love seeing everybody in Stock Analysis Friday on YouTube. So, if you can make it, it is at 8 a.m. Pacific time, and um, hope to see you there. And included in the Stock Analysis Friday, we have now combined that with the market review. So Bennett once a week goes over the newest market commentary so that we can kind of follow along and see Elliott wave counts, etc. All right, back to you, Ben.
All right, thanks, Jeannie. Yeah, just a little more on Stock Analysis Friday. So we kind of the reason we have that is because especially when we have the client support in the same week, we don't want to spend the time during client support looking up stocks. So the actual Stock Analysis Friday is the place for that. So if you have any stocks that you're interested in, maybe taking either long or short, I'll take a look at them with you and on Stock Analysis Friday, and using the software and multiple time frame analysis, come up with an opinion on what is the best thing to do with that. Because a lot of our folks get have brokers, and the broker will make a recommendation, and it's nice to just look at it technically to see if this is the best time to buy or sell or whatever you're going to be doing. So that's the purpose of it. And like Gene said, we also added in now an additional feature to it where we actually are going to go over the Dow Jones and the Nasdaq and the S&P indexes and give you kind of an overall take on the markets for the next week or so until we meet again on Stock Analysis Friday. Client support is once a month. Okay, we moved it to once a month because we had it once a week and nobody had any questions. So, why run this thing every week if nobody's going to ask any questions, right? So we moved it to once a month, and that frees up my morning as well to trade because I actively trade the NASDAQ in the mornings. So we're going to be doing these going forward as usual in the afternoon once a month. So that's kind of where we're at with that. All
You
right.
know why? You know why people don't have questions? You trained them so well.
Hey, that's a good idea. That's the ticket, as they used to say. That's the ticket.
Exactly. I see
All
Bill.
right.
Is that Bill Bear? You can actually talk in the mic if you like, and then I guess Bennett, you're going to start with
Yeah.
the
So let me
administrational things.
before mics come on, let me go ahead and just go through the administrational items, Jeannie, and then we'll open it up. Okay.
You bet.
All right. So first thing I got to talk about or discuss or make you aware of are the risks involved in trading. Like I always say, without that risk, there is no opportunity, so to speak. So the two really go hand in hand. But with risk is a funny thing because you have to have an idea of the risk you're taking when you go into the markets. And so normally you don't want to go into the markets with money you can not afford to put there in the first place. So you got to do that with risk capital. And then the next thing you want to know is when you make a trade or an investment, what's the downside, the risk, and what are you shooting for? Where's your potential area or goal that you're trying to get out of that particular trade or investment? So those things have to be considered all the time when in the markets. And basically to realize that we deal in a realm of probabilities. You're not going to win all the time, and it's a difficult business because when you develop a strategy and you work on a strategy, one change in the strategy can offset everything, and you have to test the strategy over a large enough sample size to get a accurate reading on that. For example, if you've got a 10% win rate, that doesn't, 90% win rate, that doesn't mean you're going to win 9 out of 10 trades. All right, because you might start out losing right away. So large number testing is the key to getting a more actual situation or factor on what your actual success is. So that's really important. And then also too, always check with your financial advisor or whoever manages your money to be sure any idea we talk about here that you want to apply or any trades you want to take based on something we look at maybe here today is suitable for you. I don't know your personal situation, they do, and you need to check with them before actually acting on that information. Okay, that's really important. And then finally, past performance doesn't guarantee future performance. I think we all know that as well. All right, so 2 books on money management. So if you need help in that risk area of trading the markets or investing, 2 great books, Money Management for Traders and A Trader's Money Management System, are both excellent books. The difference between the two is the one on the right is kind of like a very specific, quick read, gives you what you need to know. But for those that like a deeper dive, that book on the far left, The Trader's Money Management System, is where you'd want to go. And a lot of people get both, okay? My book on Elliott Wave Techniques, published by McGraw-Hill, is all about the Elliott Wave. And you know we use that quite a bit. Survival Guide for Traders is basically how to run your trading business from your home with today's technology. And also my latest book, The Art of Trading, second edition, out about, I guess, 4 months now already. And that's I think one of the best books I've written because it is the most comprehensive book covering so much of what I've learned in doing this in the last 30 years of in the business. So 608 pages, so it is a long read, but you can get that at Amazon. And for those watching on YouTube, you can pick that up because I'll put a link on as well. All right, you can also go to our website too. All right, same thing with our software. I'll put a link on the bottom for that. We've got basically charting software. We've got scanners. We've got risk control software. Many of you will probably already have those now. So, you know, you can buy them as a bundle or a la carte, totally up to you. And then also, too, one last thing I like to say, we have an affiliate relationship with Apex Funding, which is a prop firm, and it's one that I use. And basically, if you use our link and our code, and I'll put that at the bottom of the recording as well, you can get a lot off. Okay, I think they're offering 80% off with our code. Let me just see if I can bring that up. I'll try to put that right now for those that are interested in the chat area, so you don't have to wait for the recording. And there you go. Okay, so that's up there too. All right, so anyway, it's a great way to get started. They give you free data, so you don't have to pay for the data. There's a small subscription fee, and it's not that much, and they start you off with an evaluation account. And then once you prove not only to them, but to yourself that you're ready to go to a funded account, then you basically graduate from there to a funded account. And you're trading basically an account where you can earn money on. All right, and they pay you a 90% payout. So it's not a bad deal. A lot of people, it's a great way to get started. And if you're successful, you'll do really well. There's people making hundreds of thousands of dollars, no joke, every quarter. And many, many traders are earning $10,000 to $20,000 a month doing this. But you know, you have to know how to trade. So that's the first step. But in any case, the opportunity is there. All right, let me come out of here and welcome everybody. All right, so if you have any questions, you can cut your mic on and ask me that way, or you can type in the chat area, whichever you're most comfortable with. And so go ahead and do that now. Cliff and Al, I see you're here. I think Gene said you had questions. So if you want to kick it off, go ahead.
Yeah, I have been having trouble trying to get the art program to work.
Al, you're always having trouble.
I know, but then
Your biggest problem is your computer, because what's happening is you have, I think, OneDrive. And I think what happens is files get on OneDrive and then they can't, and then the system can't find them.
No, I've
Right?
shut OneDrive down. I don't have it
Good,
anymore.
good. So what exactly is the problem?
Well, I keep loading it, and then every time I try to load it, it won't load the MTF scanner properly. And then when I
Okay, what's properly? What do you mean? At all, or just part of it, or what?
yeah, it won't load it. It comes up MTF, but it won't show the 60, the daily, and the weekly. And
Okay,
then
so you need to know how
if
to
I
set
try to
that.
shut it down and save, it won't let me save it in NinjaTrader. Every time I go out of it, it makes me start all over again.
When you go to load the scanner, you open market, the market analyzer, right?
Right.
Okay. So what, I guess what default is it opening up to when you open it? Like mine, if I click on a new tab, it opens up all the defaults that I have set for that. So what defaults are you opening?
Well, I put in the defaults, and like I said, what happens is I tried putting in the defaults. I put in the OWL, I put the PTF and all the other stuff. I tried to do the scanner. It only came up with MTF, but no 60 daily or weekly. And
Well,
then what
that's
happens is once that goes, and then I close this down, it doesn't say, do you want to save? It just closes down. It says, do you want to continue? What you've done will
okay.
not be saved.
All right. So let's do this. Let me first, you follow me, okay? So I'm going to go to the control panel and I'm going to go to new and I'm going to go to market analyzer. And that's going to
Yeah.
open up a brand new market analyzer. I'm going to bring that down here. Okay. And we'll get rid of that. I'm going to right click on the columns and I'm going to erase everything.
Okay.
Okay. That's the first step.
So you
Okay.
want me
So
to,
now, in
you know what
fact,
I
I've
should do?
got,
Can you just, if you don't mind, just bear with me 1 minute. What I want to do is I want to record what you're saying so
well,
I can
I'm
follow.
already recording it too
Oh, so how would I get the recording?
off YouTube.
Okay. All right. Very good.
Okay. So you'll be okay. So go back into columns.
All right.
Okay. And I can get rid of description. I don't need that. I don't need last price. I don't want to. Instrument's good. I'll keep instrument up. So basically, that's a bare bones, nothing loaded market analyzer. And that's what I want you to create.
All right. So I'm in. So do I, in other words, do I click on the column where it says trade confirmer and then delete it?
No, no, you right click on the market. See, I don't think you know how to use it. You right click on the column on the market analyzer and go to columns.
Right. Okay. I know how to do that. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Then, all right, under configured down here, I want you to wipe everything out but
Oh,
instrument.
okay. I gotcha. So remove, remove everything. So remove that, remove that, remove that, remove that,
Start with
that.
a clean slate.
And then now there's also configured, it says is instrument. Do I remove that?
Nope, that's what I said. Keep the instrument.
Keep the instrument. Okay. And then apply.
Okay.
Okay.
Now click OK, and you should only have one column stretching the whole market analyzer called instrument, right?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. Now we're going to go back and right click again on the market analyzer background. And this time I want you to go to templates, and then I want you to go to load.
Okay. All right.
All right. And I want you to pick out the trade confirmer. I'm
Okay.
going to go there first.
Okay. And then say load.
Yep.
All right. Got it.
All right. Now under instrument, I want you to load, all right, any instrument you want.
All right. I'll go to, so I got to,
You could
okay.
load a
So
stock.
I go to columns and then instruments.
Well, no, in other words, just go to add instrument here because you've already done the template, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let me start over.
Oh, I see where it says add instruments. Okay. Okay.
Are you
So,
do you use the market analyzer a lot, or are you
oh
kind of
yeah,
new?
when it was working, I always used it. Yeah.
Because you seem like you don't understand how to get around it that well.
Well, because I haven't used it in 6 months.
Okay. Well, wow. All right.
So, because
Okay.
it's been
So,
down for 6 months, you know.
well, you know, what can I tell you?
Okay,
Um,
so I got add instruments. Okay,
all
and then
right.
I'm
Now I want you to right click and go to columns.
yep.
Okay. And then under trade confirmer, you should see the OWL, PTF, and TLM.
All right. Okay, I went to add
So
instruments, and all I'm seeing is the S&P and all the other things.
no, no, no. Okay, here. So did you type in an instrument yet?
No.
Okay, so let's do that. So go to add instruments and just pick one that you have data for.
All right. Let's say AP.
I assume you have your data on, right?
Yes.
Okay, so pick one that
Well,
you can that's in your data bank.
all right. So I got Apple in there.
Okay. Now what data are you using?
I'm using Schwab.
Okay. All right. So I also want you to load in the kinetic free.
Okay.
So go to connections and
All right.
go to where it says um, end of day free right up here.
Okay. Got it.
Okay. And that should create another diddling on your control panel. All right. Now, so do you have an instrument loaded now?
I do. Apple.
Okay. Now, is anything showing up in the trade in the columns here?
It's everything says the trade confirmer, the OWL, the PTF, the TLM all say bear.
Okay, good. All right. So that means it's working. Now I want you to load NVIDIA, NVDA.
Okay. Excuse me. Oh, wait a minute. Now, why do I have two? Okay, so add instrument. Excuse me. Okay, I'm trying to add it. Let's see. Where are we here? Yeah, see, it's not letting me add another instrument. I'm clicking
Sure
the
it is.
arrow.
Sure. Just you can add here. Just go right click on
Oh,
the
I see. Okay,
background
gotcha.
and
Okay.
add the instrument, or you can type it in. So NVDA.
Nope, won't let me do it. Nope, can't
Okay.
can't do it. Won't let me. I get the column that says add instrument, but then it just shows me,
So you
like I
can't
said,
type one in like I just did.
yeah, I can't type it in like you did.
But
No.
watch. My cursor's on the background. All right. I leave the cursor alone and I just start typing.
Okay, can you do that one more time?
Okay. So my cursor is over. I'm highlighted. I've got the market analyzer window highlighting, and then I just type stuff in. I type the symbol in.
All right, let me try that. But
See if that works. Okay. So now go up to the market analyzer.
okay, how do I
Just take your
right here?
cursor and place it on the market analyzer.
So what? Okay, so I have Apple highlighted. Okay,
Okay. So now add another one. So right click and add an instrument. There you go.
Bada bing, bada
okay.
boom.
So just click add an instrument.
Yeah. And then go down to whatever you want. Go down to ZPH or ZION.
Okay, all right. ABV. How about that?
All right. Okay. So now let's right click and go to columns.
Columns. Okay.
Okay. And now you can see under configured, you can see the trade confirmer, the OWL, PTF, and TLM. Now I have
Right.
a whole video on this on basically what those settings for that mean. So click on, for example, the trade confirmer. Okay, do you see the settings on the right?
Yes.
Okay. Do you see the data series under that? So it's set up for end of day where it says data type. That's good.
Right.
Now go to the owl. Highlight the owl. Okay. So every one of these is set up good. Okay.
Okay. And then
All right.
TLM. Okay.
Okay. So that's good. All right. So now the next thing we're going to do, don't leave this window. So now you can see the trade confirmers working, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. So now what I want you to do next is scroll down on where it says available and go to the MTF.
Oh, available. Oh, I see down up here.
Yeah. Okay, stop. You passed it. There it is. All right, load that once, and we're going to load it again in a minute, but load it once. So highlight it and then click add under configured. Okay. Now on the right hand side where it says bars to load,
Right.
okay, I usually put that to 250.
Okay.
All right. And sometimes I use 600 too. All right. And now scroll down on that right side.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And all right, go back up for a minute. I'm looking for something specific. Go to the very top. Okay. Go to the top. Top.
Oh, thought I did.
Okay. So let me see what that says. Okay. So signal count 2, S1, SR. Okay. Under minutes. Now, do you get intraday time frame with your
I
data
believe
provider?
I believe that TOS is now providing that. Yes, I think they are.
Okay. So you want to put 60 under the value here. So minute, and then where it says 1, replace that with 60.
Okay.
Okay. And then scroll down again. Oh, all right. Go back to that window.
Columns, right?
Yeah.
And
Okay.
MTF.
And go back to MTF
Got it.
and scroll down some more. When you
Okay.
get the word MTF, stop. Keep going. Now stop. See where it says label?
Yes. Label.
Okay.
Label.
Where it says label MTF?
Label. Yes.
Right
Yes.
under, right there, under
Okay.
label. Do you see it?
Yes.
Okay. So backspace that and type in short.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Go ahead and hit apply.
Got it.
Okay. Now, the next thing we're going to do is go back to the available and bring down another MTF.
Okay.
Okay. Um, Under minutes, put day,
Got it.
leave it at 1, put bars 250.
Okay.
Okay. And under the label, type in intermediate.
Oh, I did it again. Damn it. I keep hitting enter. Ah,
That's
brain
right.
dead, brain dead, brain dead.
Let's go back to columns.
Go back to columns. Okay.
Okay. And go back to intermediate because you have a space between the I and the N.
Let me just,
So you got to take that space out.
yeah, let me just, give me a second here. I'm a little spastic here. Okay, got
Okay,
it.
good. All right. Now go back up to available. and grab one more MTF and bring it down. And this time, change it to weekly, and then go to bars 250,
Okay.
and then change the MTF label to long.
Okay.
Try that again.
Oh, yep. Hold on.
Try it again.
I got it.
Okay.
Okay, long.
All right, hit apply.
All right.
Okay, and hit OK for right now. Okay, so let's see what we got. No trend, bear trade, bear trade. Okay, so there is the scanner MTF working. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Now you have the Elliott wave 2, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So right click on columns. Go up to available and find the Elliott wave.
Okay. Right there.
Bring that down. Okay. And then bring it down again. Do it again. Put 2 of them under there. Okay. On the first one, go to the first one. Okay. And change the type to day from minute to day. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. And bars, yeah, I can go 250.
Okay.
Sometimes I use 600, like I said. All right,
Right.
scroll down and change this to Elliott. Take out backspace under label, take out scanner, and make it Elliott wave 3. So put the number 3 instead of scanner.
Okay. Where am I? Okay. Okay. Instead of Elliott wave scanner, say what? 3?
Elliott wave 3.
Elliott wave 3.
Because that's going to find your wave 3.
Okay. 3. Got it.
Okay. Now let's go ahead under configured and highlight the second Elliott wave scanner. All right, go up to the top under properties, go to the top of properties and change the 3 to a 5.
5.
Go
Okay.
to type and change minutes to day.
Day. Okay.
Go to label and change it to a 5. Take out scanner and change it to a 5.
5.
Okay, hit
Okay.
apply. Okay, now next thing to do is go to turbo scanner. So that's, you only need to do that once. Okay, go to turbo scanner and bring that down and
Okay.
change that to day. So let's go up here, scroll down. You're good. You're good. Keep going down.
Okay. Okay. There.
Minute, change to day.
Got it.
Okay, bars you can leave. Okay,
Okay.
click OK. Hey, Cliff, I'll get to you in just a minute, okay?
Okay, I put my 4 questions in the chat.
You're gonna want to right click on the market analyzer after you get this all loaded, like we had it loaded. And then
Right.
you're going to want to go to templates and save it as a default. So every time you
Okay.
bring it up or it crashes, you'll have it again, okay?
Okay.
That's the idea. Let me just ask you one more question here. What's the speed of your internet again? I think you told me one time.
It's like 1 gigabyte.
Good. Okay. Okay. And do me a favor, go under the Windows icon to the left of search.
Windows icon.
Left to go down to the Windows icon, go down to the taskbar.
Okay. Yeah. Gotcha.
Click on that. Okay, click on the gear settings.
Settings.
Go to system.
Okay.
Let me just see. Scroll down. No, on the right side. There you go. Keep going. Go to About. Click on About. Okay, hold that. Okay, you got 16 gigabytes installed. You got an i7. That should be more than enough power. Yeah, you should not be having any problems with anything on that. All right, let's go back to your control panel. You can go ahead and X out of this. Okay, well, at least the indicators are working. It's just a matter of you got to get used to them. That's all.
Right. Gotcha. Okay.
Okay, good, Al. Thanks for bringing that that's the purpose of client support. So that's great.
All right. Well,
Hey,
thank you
Ben.
for your help. I hope we got this taken care of.
Oh, we'll get it taken care of, Al.
All right. Thanks for
Okay,
your help, Ben.
I'm gonna share my screen, but I think I just shared the
Okay.
wrong one.
Hey, Ben, I just wanted to introduce you to Steven Zimmer. So he's got that awesome picture there.
Oh, Stephen, how are you?
He was with us in San Diego.
I remember. Yes.
Yeah, 2006.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for working with me. I trying to make it bigger.
Okay, the picture. Yeah, the window can be full screen and enlarged actually to any size you want on the GoToMeeting console.
Go to the meeting.
So you got to get the hang of it. It's kind of a separate window. Now, in the meantime, Steve, while you're doing that, let me just reach out to Cliff.
Just too, Bennett. Clifton put his questions in the text chat, so he has, I think, 3 or 4, and they're all outlined, and you can kind of go on
Oh,
them
okay.
one
Wait a
by
minute.
one.
I have to scroll up. I didn't see him. Okay, hold on. All
That's
right.
because we were chit-chatting. Sorry.
Okay. Cannot successfully load the RRC for the M&Q. Please assist. Okay. Yeah, I remember. I think you had a problem with the RRC and the NASDAQ because what you were doing is the NASDAQ volatility got so bad that one price bar at times was 80 to 100 points. And if you have a $50,000 account and have an 80 to 90 point spread, okay, on a $50,000 account with that small a risk in there, it's too large. It's still too large, okay? So you really got to minute it down. What I would do instead is trade the micros and also trade no more than 1 or 2 contracts when you see the average true range above 50, okay? So average true range, what you can do, Cliff, for average true range is right click. So basically what I'm saying for right now, and so just go to your indicators, for example, and you're gonna wanna pull the ATR indicator. So you just go here and
Yeah, I
pull
already have it loaded. I have it running.
You got it already running?
Yeah.
Okay, beautiful. So basically, if the ATR is over 50, don't trade more than 2 contracts, okay, for right now, especially if you're going to try to trend trade the pyramids.
Okay. Do I use the risk reward calculator if it's under 50?
You can, but you
Okay.
have to use the right point value. So,
Yeah, I know how to find the point value.
okay,
I mean, they got a table on, actually, it's on Apex, what point values are used for each one of the instruments.
okay.
So I use the point value that's in there.
Yeah, so that's what you would put in here. Good. So the point value here, for example, for the NASDAQ MNQ, it's going to be 2. If it's the full NQ, it would be 20.
Okay.
Okay. And then use a low, the margin, use 350, and you can take it from there. But if you have a 100-point spread, think about this. All right. If you have a 100-point spread on the NASDAQ at $20, That's a 2,000 point spread. All right. So that there's no way you could trade that on a prop account, $50,000 prop account, if you're going to
Right.
put your stop at the bottom of the bar, right? So you're going
Yeah.
to be forced to use the micros. And even then, 100 points on one micro is going to be $200. So you're not going to want to exceed 2 micros. That's $400. You probably should stick to 100 if the range gets that high. But if it's 50 on the range, which is half of the 100, you could use 2 contracts. That's what I'm saying. Okay.
I got it.
Okay. And you'll be fine if you do that. You know,
All
it's
right.
been pretty volatile, so you know you gotta kind of keep it small. Keep your trade size small.
Okay. The rest of my questions should be pretty easy for you.
Let's see what we got here. All right, question 2. The owl configuration. Should we leave extended owl to false? Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So what he's referring to is that we go to indicators and go to the owl. Okay, I happen to have it on. Okay, for there's certain times you want to cut it on. And that's when I'm looking at a lot of history. And I'm kind of like, for example, when you have the owl off, all right, it only goes back 144 price bars. But if you extend it, it goes back much, much further. And if you have a higher 3, like this would have been a 3, 4, 5, then you know you're sitting in a situation where that's probably a wave 5, but but it indicates a 3 because it's the largest wave going back 144. So I extended it to see what it would tell me if I included this particular hump there that occurred past 144 price bars. Generally speaking, you're not going to have to worry about that on the intraday time frames.
Okay.
Okay. But that's what that is. So I would leave that to false.
Okay.
All right. 3. Boy, these are good questions. Turbo scanner. Bars to load is 50. All other, you know, if your others are set to 600, the turbo
Mhm.
scanner, it doesn't matter. Okay. That's the only indicator in the market analyzer where you can leave it at 50.
Okay.
Okay. So don't worry about that. But things like the owl and things like that, it has to do with the programming of the different indicators. And for the
Mhm.
turbo, it's a non-issue.
All right.
Okay. For the owl PTF, it is an issue. So you should have it at 600
Okay.
for the most time. It'll work at 50. So it just depends on how your charts are set up.
All
All
right.
right, so let's see. I think that's it.
No, there's one more.
Okay. I see 3. Hold on one second.
There's a 4.
There it
Keep
is.
going.
Okay, further down. All right. Where is the video for the market analyzer configuration? I configured 3 market analyzers, 1 for each time frame. I look at the 1, 5, and 15 configured. Minus that. Is that the right thing to do? Okay. The video, we have a link for that. It's actually in one of the client supports. So you know, that's where that is. But let me just see what your question is. I configured 3 market analyzers. Okay, so
Mhm.
do that via tabs. Did you just add
Right.
tabs?
Yeah,
Good,
I did.
perfect. All right, let me just read your question. And 1 for time frame, look at 1, 5, and 15. I configure the period type to 1 minute and set the value to the time frame. Yeah, so basically, again, you go right click, go into the columns, okay, on
Right.
the
Yeah.
tab that you want to have all in the same time frame, and you have to go through each one and just make
Right.
sure it's set on the time frame you want.
Yep.
Okay. Now, the only exception to that is if you've got the MTF loaded. Okay. So the MTF here, all right,
The MTF. What is that?
that's the I don't know if you have that. Does he have that, Gene?
Multiple time frame scanner.
I don't
No.
think.
No,
Yeah,
I
you
don't
don't
have
have that.
that.
Okay, you don't have to worry about that. All right. So That's all you have to do then. Just got to make sure each tab go into each one of the scanners, Cliff, and just make
Uh-huh.
sure each one of those is set properly on the time, okay?
Okay.
And
Yep.
that will
Already
show
did
you your
that. Yeah.
type right there.
I just wanted to make sure that was the right thing to do.
Yep. No, you're good. Good. This is a place to bring it. Excellent. How's everything going? Okay.
Yeah, things going. I had a bad week, but things are better now.
How is when you have a bad week, blown account or drawdown?
yeah, some of that. Yeah, yeah. But I don't know. I brought in some.
It's a process. It really is.
Yeah,
And trading the prop firms is not like trading your own account.
right.
You know, there's a lot more parameters or restrictions, if you want to call it, with
Yeah,
the prop firm. But the nice thing is at least you're not blowing your real money.
Thank
right,
goodness.
right.
You know, so it's a great environment to learn in. If you don't quit and keep at it, you actually will get better.
Yep.
It's just a process.
Also, Ben, Clifton was telling me this morning, and Al in the Yummy Room, that Tweeman is addicted.
Well, it's kind of like teaching.
She
Just
is.
so everybody
Okay.
knows, Tweeman is Clifton's better half.
Now, Cliff, what is she trading? Is she doing the
She,
prop firm too?
yeah, but she's in the simulator, but she's up in the wee hours of the night.
Oh, she like me.
Um, I'm telling her, she needs to sleep more,
Well,
right? Yeah,
I hear you. I hear you. Sounds like she has a new friend at night, right?
yeah, yeah.
That's pretty
Hey,
funny.
Ben, I guess we need a night owl support group.
I think maybe so. Yeah, I trade the night too. I will tell you a little thing with the night. You know, the ATR is a lot smaller at night. Um,
Yeah, see.
and what happens I found is you usually get a very area where you have a bracketed market, and
Uh-huh.
then usually when London comes in, they take it, they trend it. So you got to be careful not to get caught on the wrong side of that trend.
And Clifton this morning in Yummy was saying that he could tell when the London hit. Remember,
Yeah,
Clifton, you were saying that?
yeah.
Yeah,
Tell Ben about that.
yeah. It's around 4 to 4:30 in the morning here. I
Yep.
think it's four. I didn't know it was London. Actually, I think it was you that mentioned that it was London. But I was just mentioning that time frame
Well, there's also
when,
the Asian market too.
yeah, when it changes. It's like between 4 a.m. and 4:30,
Yeah.
and then it comes off of that
Actually,
flat.
that's probably starting to click over. And yeah, I got it. London, then it goes to New York. Yep.
Yep. Right. It's real flat up until that kicks in.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's what happens, and then they start running the liquidity. So, yeah. So it's just stick with it and keep your trade
Yeah.
size within reason. You know, what I would suggest doing is in the beginning is maybe having a daily limit for profit and for loss. So if you reach a
Hmm.
$400 loss for the day, you call it quits. You walk away. If you
Right.
have a $400 profit for the day, you call it
Hmm.
quits and walk away. So have some numbers in mind. That's your goal for the day. But also, too, when you've had enough, walk away.
Right.
You know, it's a pretty intense environment. So it's kind of like playing a sport. You know, when you've had enough, walk away.
Hmm.
All right, good. All right, Cliff, good. Anyway, I think you're doing great. Just keep at it. Okay. Everybody, their first year in this is always difficult. All right. Any other questions? Those were great. Al, hopefully we get you set up.
All
Hey,
right, let
Ben,
me
do you
see.
hear that little sound in the background? That's Ollie.
No. Who?
Ollie,
Who's Ollie? The bird? The bird or
the
something?
bird.
Yep.
Yep, the bird.
What kind of bird?
It's a high yellow sun conure. And
Actually, hold on. Can I share my screen, Ben?
You can, yes.
Cool.
While you're doing that, Al, just remember the first thing you want to do when you load the scanner new, add the template of the trade confirmer. That will save you a lot of time.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, it's got everything. It's got the confirmer, the OWL, the PTF, the TLM, the Elliott wave scanner.
Oh, so it saved it.
And it did. Yeah, it did.
Okay. So now what I want you to do is on the market, that's going to save you a lot of time. On the market analyzer, go ahead and put your arrow, your cursor on the background. Okay. Right click.
Right.
Go to templates.
Right.
And save as default.
Okie dokie. I did that.
All right. One more thing I'm going to do. Right click again. Go to templates, save as, and save it as all TC scans. That way you have it here as well.
So what am I? I'm sorry. I'm right clicking.
Okay, so right click, go to templates.
Go to templates.
Go to save as.
Template, save as.
Okay, and you should see what I'm seeing. Then call it TC scans.
In other words, replace where it says my template, just replace that with TC scans.
Is it coming up your template?
It just says my template. So should I just rename?
Template?
I don't know. That's what it says.
All right, let's try that again. So you went to templates and you saved it as the default, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so now get rid of that, type, and then go right click again.
Right.
Go to save as.
Right.
And it will say my template.
Right, at the bottom.
Right,
yes.
So erase that.
Okay.
And then type in TC scans. And then save.
TC scan. And
save.
Save. Okay.
All right. So now you have it created as a default, and you also have a backup as you created a template for it too.
Okay, great. Very good.
So now, so now you gotta just make sure that when you load a new symbol in there, to go a little slow because it may take a little time on your computer to load the information. Okay.
Right. Or I can actually download the S&P 500 like I used to do, right?
Yeah, but you see, that's a lot of symbols. So your data provider's got to be really fast, or else you're going to be waiting 5 minutes.
Okay.
That's the only problem with that.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So be careful about if you find it sluggish, then back off some of the symbols.
Gotcha. Okay. Very good. Very good.
All right. Good.
Thank you so much for your help. I appreciate it. Really. Thank you.
My pleasure. Glad we got it solved.
We're going to have Al teaching everybody else now.
Yeah. Well, that's it.
I wouldn't count on that.
All right. Anybody else? Anything else? I know we went a little over, but how much?
Ben, while we're waiting for everybody else, can I share my screen?
Yeah.
Excellent. All right. Can you see my screen?
Yep.
Beautiful. So.
Oh, I look so young in that picture. Look at that.
Isn't he young?
Yeah. To be young again.
Ah, the good old days. That is at a trade show. We used to do the New York City trade show every single year at the expo. Remember that?
How could I forget?
I know. So I wanted to bring everyone's attention to the YouTube channel. So I think most of you folks I've seen there. And I know Al, you're always there. Steve Zimmer, you've probably not joined us yet, but we'd love for you to join us. So here is the YouTube address.
It's on our website too.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And then you can see like this top row is all the Stock Analysis Friday recordings. And Stock Analysis Friday is every single week at 8 a.m. Pacific time. And Bennett has started including his market analysis, so you can kind of see what's going on with the markets every
Jane,
week.
let me just interrupt you for 1 second.
Sure.
Some people might not see those right off the bat. Okay, they're there because you keep looking at them, but they need to go under
Oh,
playlists.
oh, okay.
You
Got it.
gotta use your, yeah, get out of that.
Got
You
it.
gotta use your pointer. You
All
got
right.
your ink pen on.
Can you tell I'm new at this, right? So now this is going to say upcoming.
No, you gotta, okay, go ahead.
I don't know how to do it as good as you because I'm new. So upcoming live stream. So Stock Analysis Friday for this week. That's where that's going to be located for you.
And that is on the home page.
Yep. And then I wanted to show everybody where client support will be.
Well, for that, you're gonna need to go
right
to
here,
playlists.
or videos.
Yeah, well, no, that's not, that will give you the most recent one. But if they want to look at the history, they got to go to playlists.
Aha.
All right. So go up and circle playlists.
Okay.
There it is. So if you click on that, so there's the different playlists. So we've got Stock Analysis Friday. We've got Advanced Trading Tools, Futures Day Trading Room. I don't put many in there. Past live streams. Okay.
How about client support? You want to add a playlist there?
Yeah, we don't have one. We should have one there. Oh, you know why? I think I hid it because they used to be private.
Oh, okay.
All right. Do we want to keep those private or should they be public?
Well, I think the new one should be public for sure.
I think that's what happened. I think the old playlist is private.
We'll maybe make a new kind of a playlist
I'll
that's
have to
for the
go
new
in.
ones.
All right, but anyway.
Anyway,
That's
I
the
just
real big.
I just thought I'd let everybody know that's where all that good stuff is.
So can I find today's?
You will, but we won't be posting it till tonight.
Okay.
It's not instantaneous.
And it's under videos, so you see how you're gonna see videos. So this is last month's client support.
Okay.
And this is last week's Stock Analysis Friday.
Gotcha. Very good.
So, yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, Al, so give us till tonight.
Say that. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, just give us till tonight
Okay.
to get it up there.
Will do.
But that's where it'll be. Thank you,
guys
Jane.
are great.
Oh,
right.
you're great.
Who are you
I'm so
guys?
excited.
All right. So I guess that's it. I don't see any more questions. So
All right.
what
We'll
do
see you
think?
next month.
Yeah. Everybody happy? And gals, thank you.
Good
Thank you,
session,
Ben.
everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you, Gene.
Serving traders worldwide since 1998, TradersCoach.com provides educational services for traders and investors alike. We have developed trading software to help traders of every level improve their skills. Our site is dedicated to providing you with all the resources, software, and educational material you need to achieve your trading goals. It is because of our years of experience, attention to detail, and our exceptional customer service that TradersCoach.com is the right choice for you. Call us today.